Okay, so we've talked about all the hormones from the anterior pituitary and the neurohormones from the hypothalamus. Let's tackle the two hormones from the neurohypophysis, otherwise known as the posterior pituitary. ADH and oxytocin are those two neurohormones. They are neurohormones because they're released from nervous tissue directly into the bloodstream. Oxytocin is involved in labor contractions and the release of milk, whereas ADH is responsible for resorbing water from the kidneys, specifically from the nephrons, during times of low blood volume or low blood pressure. So one thing I want to be clear about, there is a physical connection between the hypothalamus and the posterior pituitary, and that allows axons to run from the hypothalamus down to the posterior pituitary. So to be clear, these signaling molecules, ADH and oxytocin, are released from neurons embedded within the posterior pituitary. Neurons that actually emanate from the hypothalamus travel down the infundibulum to the posterior pituitary. So ADH would be released directly into the blood, as would oxytocin. The stimulus for release, unlike the anterior pituitary hormones, which require these tropic hormones from the hypothalamus, the stimulus is no different than in neurons everywhere else in the body. Receptors on the dendrites get stimulated by a specific signal, whether that's osmolarity of blood, a nerve signal from the uterus, what have you. As we talked about at the outset of the endocrine system, there are a host of other tissues and organs in the body that release hormones. The pancreas is one of them. The pancreas is a digestive exocrine organ, but it also has endocrine functions. The endocrine region of the pancreas is known as the islets of Langerhans, and it has a number of cells, but two of which are beta cells and alpha cells. Alpha cells secrete glucagon during times of low blood sugar, insulin. Beta cells secrete insulin during times of elevated blood sugar. And certainly there are other organs that release hormones. The stomach releases hormones such as ghrelin, which produces a sensation of hunger, and peptide double Y, which creates a feeling of satisfaction of the appetite. Adipose tissue secretes leptin, which has long-term appetite regulating effects. Bone releases signaling molecules into the blood, so that means it releases hormones. The hormone it releases is osteocalcine, which enhances the secretion and action of insulin. And the skin is also involved in producing calcitriol vitamin, otherwise known as vitamin D3, and that's initiated by sunlight and then completed in the liver and the kidneys. So there are a whole host of hormones that we have yet to talk about, but that is a good primer into the endocrine system.